I've cracked myself up. I still haven't found my first Blantons. That's different. I really like that. They're like together, like peas and carrots. That's funny. Sometimes accidents are good things. Peychauds or Peychauds or Peychaud. This is not what I expected. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We are here doing our thing. There we go. And did you notice anything different? I didn't have any like really green shirts, so I had to do something with the tag along. So thought I'd give it a shot. All right, so this is going to be kind of quick. We're going to just real quick go through a couple Irish whiskeys here. Green Spot and Yellow Spot. I'm going to give Yellow Spot the first tasting because I haven't had it before, and then I want to give the Green Spot a chance to compete. So let's get that out of the way. All right, I have not had the Yellow Spot. This is a 12-year. The spots, and I left all my paperwork over on the printer, so heck with it. The spots, there's a gold spot, there's a red spot, there's a blue spot, there's 4 different green spots. Most of the green spots have to do with different wine and sherry casks that the green spot is then secondarily barreled in. And then the Yellow Spot is a 12-year. I think it might be a slightly higher proof as well. Michael's watching. Hey, Coachella Valley Mike, how are you, buddy? Glad you're here. Love the goatee. Yeah, I know. I just did this a little while ago. I figure one of two things is going to happen. Either it's going to be permanent, and I'll have to shave it all off, or I'll be able to wash it out, and I'll still cut it down. It's time. 46% alcohol by volume, so this is 92 proof. It's a little higher proof than the Green Spot. The Green Spot, I think, is still just 80 proof. Yes, it is, just 80 proof. So let's give the Yellow Spot a try here. Start off with the nose. Jeff is watching. Hey, Jeff. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, so this is grassy. A lot of the Irish whiskeys are to me, though. They're just grassy the way they present themselves. That's not a bad thing. I mean, who doesn't love the smell of grass, right? Or hay. It's got a lot of, it's hay notes is what it's more like. More hay than grass. There is some cinnamon in there, some raisins. So, all right, let's see how it goes. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is a single malt. I don't think it's a blend. Inspired the original Yellow Spot. Okay, it is rested in bourbon barrels, used bourbon barrels, sherry butts, and another type of wine. It's a wine cask. So they do sit in other casks, but I think this is a this is a single pot still. So this is a single malt. It's 100% barley. Now this could be 50% malted barley and 50% unmalted barley. That's typical how the pot stills are in the Irish whiskeys. That's probably the most typical as far as the single malts go. So it is grassy, very smooth. I didn't detect that high proof at all. No. For 96 proof, it hides. Very, very smooth. Again, that's one of the things I tend to not love about Irish whiskeys is they're just, I think, a little too smooth. Generally, they're, in that 80 proof range and things like this. This is a little bit higher, but it doesn't present itself as such. But it's time for the duel. We'll see how it does with Green Spot. I've had about half the green spot. Now this is 80 proof, single malt. This is the original green spot. It wasn't housed in any of those special wine casks, just a regular, probably a sherry wine cask. Let's see what it says here. Gotta go where the light is. This one does not say anything specific. It was said that if you get green apples off a green spot, you might get red apples off a yellow spot. And I didn't really pick up on that, but we'll try it. We'll see what happens. Green spot. This one has already been opened, obviously, so here we go. There is a significant difference in flavor, for sure. I'm not normally very good at this, but I'm going to go back to the yellow. Okay, the yellow spot is definitely much grassier than the green spot. The green spot is a lot sweeter. I can tell the difference in proof when I go back to back like that. The green spot is very, very smooth. The yellow spot is too, but just it's got a slight little extra, right? And it's got a little bit deeper flavor, as if it had been housed in a secondary barrel. I don't necessarily see that the colors are really all that different. This is a little bit more coppery than this one is, just slightly. But this is a more full bottle too, so that may have something to do with it. This is aged 7 to 8 years. This is aged 12. So that may have something to do with it too, and the higher proof. I'm not getting a lot, well, tell you what. If at first you can't figure it out, you pour some more. It is St. Patrick's Day after all, right? All right. Now, I can move these around, but I will be able to tell the difference because I've tasted them already. So let's go back to yellow. Definitely grassy. Love the goatee, but can't take you seriously with it. Thanks, Jeff. Larry's watching. Hey, Larry, how are you? I decided to just do something a little bit different. I'm glad you could see it. I was worried that it wouldn't show up, but I'm glad it did. If I can wash it out, great, and if I can't, it's time to cut it down anyway. So I had a dinner party here on Wednesday. We had lasagna and watched a movie. There were 6 of us, and one of the women in the group looked over at me and said, "How long are you going to let that get?" I said, "I'm going to shave it on Friday after my Bourbcast." But, I mean, it's just fun. I mean, it's just fun to do stuff like this sometimes. This is not the longest it's ever been. But I can do this and put it in my mouth, which is really tempting right now because the way I did this is with lime jello. So I'm smelling lime on my face, and I would really like to just suck on my beard a little bit, except to do this, I had to mix the lime jello in with like hair conditioner. I don't need to eat the hair conditioner. All right, let's go back to the green spot. You know, of the two, I think I like the green spot better. Of the two, I know I like the green spot better. It's just a little bit sweeter. It's not as grassy as the yellow spot. Got some nice fruit flavors in it. So the yellow spot is $127, $129, something like that. The green spot is not. The green spot is a much more reasonable dollar level. So I can tell you that I'm a little disappointed that I like the green spot better than the yellow spot, considering the price tag on this bad boy. But, you know, it is what it is. Last night, if you missed last night, we had this one. This is the Michael Collins, and we gave a real quick but thorough history of Michael Collins, and of all the different Irish whiskeys that I've tried, and there have been enough. This one I think may just be my favorite. The flavors on this were fantastic. It had a nice bite to it, really a nice pour. So if you get a chance to find the Michael Collins, this is called the Prediction. We talked about the different methods of how Irish whiskey is made last night. I'll go over it again real quick here. Malt Irish whiskey is produced using 100% malted barley and distilled in pot stills. Pot still Irish whiskey, which is what this, I believe, is made from a mash of a minimum of 30% malted and a minimum 30% unmalted barley with up to 5% of other cereals added. Mostly it's corn, and distilled in pot stills. Blended Irish whiskey is a mixture of mixture of any two or more of the styles of malt, pot still, and grain whiskey. And the Michael Collins is basically all of those. It's a mixture of all those different. There's grain Irish whiskey, malt Irish whiskey, pot still Irish whiskey, and blended Irish whiskey. This is blended. All the different ways of doing it is all put into one thing, and it's actually really, really good. These are the pot still Irish whiskey, so it's a minimum of 30% unmalted barley and minimum 30% malted barley. I think these are single malts, so I think these are 100%. So there you go. That's the story behind Yellow Spot and Green Spot. You get a chance to try them both. Do it. See what you think. Maybe you won't agree with me in my assessment of whether Yellow Spot is better than Green Spot or vice versa. I happen to think that the Green Spot is a little bit better. Now, what's up next? I want to try a Gold Spot and a Red Spot and a Blue Spot, and they all have different price points and different levels of proof, and they're aged in different ways in different barrels. I mean, there's a lot of different things that go on with this. So hey, I won't keep you any longer. It's Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm glad that you're here. I do not remember what I had for. Oh, yes, I do. It's over there, though. We're going to be doing the Jack Daniel's Bonded next week. So if you happen to come around on Thursday, we will be here with Jack Daniel's Bonded. I believe that's the one it was. Okay. I don't know much about it. I'll find out more about it. We know that it's going to be 100 proof. Because bonded, bottled and bond. So it's going to have been sitting there in a government facility or government supervision for 4 years. It's going to be 100 proof. I do like the higher proof Jack Daniel's, so I may really like it. We'll see. But that is next week, next Thursday, 7 o'clock on Beautiful Bourbon. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. We will see you next week. Take care.